When we think of hoofed mammals today, we usually imagine gentle herbivores peacefully grazing across open landscapes. Creatures like deer, horses, giraffes, and antelopes dominate the image, icons of speed, grace, and plant-based diets. But what if I told you that this wasn't always the case? That buried deep in Earth's past roamed monstrous hoofed animals that hunted, scavenged, and even crushed bones. Let's start with what we know. Hoofed mammals, or ungulates, include some of the most massive land animals alive today. From rhinos thundering across African plains to herds of wild horses galloping through grasslands. They all share one trait, a hard protective covering, called a hoof, at the end of each toe. Ungulates are generally split into two main groups. The first are the even-toed ungulates, like pigs, cattle, deer, and giraffes, which stand on 2 or 4 toes. The second are the odd-toed ungulates, such as horses, rhinos, and tapirs, which walk on 1 or 3 toes. Both groups have adapted to a herbivorous lifestyle, with long limbs, toe-based running, and highly efficient locomotion across open terrain. Running on hooves, especially fewer of them, means fewer muscles are needed to move. That saves energy, allowing these animals to run quickly and for long distances. Evolution favored this design for fleeing predators, not catching prey. But this wasn't always the case. Though most hoofed mammals today are strict herbivores, nature once made exceptions, some terrifying ones. Unlike predators with claws and powerful canine teeth, ungulates evolved for endurance, not aggression. A hoof can be a dangerous weapon when kicked, but it pales in comparison to the piercing claws or bone-splitting bites that carnivores wield. Predators must kill quickly and efficiently. If their prey escapes, it could mean starvation. That's why most carnivorous mammals today, from lions to wolves, possess traits ungulates lack: agility, claws, and fangs. But the fossil record tells a different story, one where hoofed animals also evolved into formidable carnivores. Let's meet one of the most infamous of these extinct oddities, entelodonts. Nicknamed hell pigs or Terminator pigs, these animals were neither true pigs nor gentle grazers. They roamed North America and parts of Eurasia around 45 million years ago, weighing anywhere between 50 to 900 kilograms. Imagine a boar, bloated to the size of a bison, with massive jaws and a heavy skull supported by a muscular hump on its back. That was an entelodont. Though they had cloven hooves like modern ungulates, their teeth were a different story. They possessed large canines, sharp premolars, and flat molars, a dental toolkit for an omnivorous diet, capable of devouring both plant material and flesh. Fossils suggest these beasts scavenged kills, intimidated predators, and even hunted for themselves. Entelodonts didn't need to run their prey down. Their sheer size and power allowed them to dominate weaker carnivores, stealing food with brute force. But over time, changes in climate and the emergence of faster prey and more agile predators spelled doom for these lumbering giants. Around 19 million years ago, the last of the entelodonts vanished. But they weren't alone. In prehistoric North America, another group of predatory hoofed mammals thrived: Mesonychids. Their remains have been found across North America and parts of Asia, including Mongolia and China. These early ungulates were a bizarre blend of features: bodies resembling wolves or hyenas, limbs ending in primitive hooves, and skulls shaped like elongated battering rams. Each toe ended in a structure halfway between a nail and a hoof, hinting at their transitional place in evolution. Their teeth were triangular and sharp, ideal for tearing flesh, and their inner ear structures bore an uncanny resemblance to modern whales. In fact, some paleontologists believe Mesonychids may have been ancestral to whales, or at least close relatives. Some Mesonychids likely scavenged like hyenas, while others actively hunted marine life along coastlines. They may have even used their primitive hooves to brace meat while tearing it with their powerful jaws. They were carnivores by both biology and behavior. Another terrifying member of this ancient hoofed carnivore club was Andrewsarchus. Living during the Middle Eocene in parts of what is now Asia and Africa, Andrewsarchus stood around 2 meters tall at the shoulder and measured over 5 meters long. It likely weighed over a ton, making it one of the largest terrestrial mammalian carnivores to ever live. Despite looking like a cross between a wolf and a bear, Andrewsarchus wasn't closely related to any modern predator. In fact, it was likely a hoofed mammal itself, possibly a distant relative of Mesonychids or early whales. Its skull alone was a meter long, filled with crushing teeth that could shatter bone. Fossil reconstructions suggest it may have had a yellow coat with dark markings, giving it a vaguely cheetah-like appearance, albeit far bulkier and more powerful. But hoofed carnivory didn't stop on land. Early ancestors of whales, like Entelodonts, also had hooves. These small, deer-like creatures lived near water and fed on aquatic prey. Over millions of years, they would evolve into fully aquatic whales, some of which became apex predators of the sea. This transition illustrates that carnivory and hooves once went hand in hand, even underwater. There's even evidence of a bone-crushing pig, possibly a member of the true pig family, that displayed adaptations for heavy carnivory, though it's still poorly understood. So why don't we see carnivorous hoofed animals today? There are several theories. One suggests that claws are simply better suited for hunting. Modern carnivores rely on dexterity, pouncing, grappling, and slashing, none of which hooves are good at. Running prey down is only half the battle. Catching and killing it requires tools hooves can't provide. Another theory is energetic efficiency. Carnivory requires more effort and energy, especially when chasing prey that's faster and harder to catch. Plant-based diets, while nutritionally poorer, are far more abundant and predictable. Evolution tends to favor stability over spectacle. And there's a pattern here. Many of the hoofed carnivores that once roamed the earth were eventually outcompeted by more specialized predators. The emergence of animals like amphicyonids or bear dogs brought new levels of hunting sophistication that entelodonts and mesonychids couldn't match. They were faster, smarter, and better armed. So while today's ungulates are mostly gentle herbivores, their history tells a wilder story, one of power, predation, and extinction. Evolution didn't exclude carnivory from hoofed mammals. It just phased it out. But who knows? In a changing world with unpredictable climates and ecosystems, perhaps the future still holds room for new surprises, maybe even hoofed predators once more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into prehistoric mysteries, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know what ancient beast you'd like us to explore next.